Good morning students. Today we are going to study chemistry for class 8. This is part 2, video 2 for the chapter matter. In this video we are going to cover the two topics, change of state of matter and law of conservation of mass. Let us take the first topic, change of state of matter. In the last video you already have studied what matter is, and you know matter exists in three different states: solids, liquids and gases. These three states, they are interconvertible. Interconvertible means one state can be converted to the other and vice versa. Okay, like solid can be converted to liquid, liquid can be converted to gas. But how is it going to happen? This change of state, it depends upon two external factors. One is temperature and the other one is pressure. You should understand that very clearly, that change of state depends on two factors, temperature and pressure. In this video, we will be studying about how does a change in temperature affects the states of matter. Okay. So, when solid is heated, it converts to liquid. When liquid is heated, it converts to gas. When gas is cooled, it converts to liquid. When liquid is cooled, it gets converted to solids. Okay. Now we'll see how all these changes occur in detail. Okay. Let us understand what happens when a solid is heated. When a solid is heated, its molecules will gain that heat energy. They will convert that heat energy into kinetic energy. I hope you remember what kinetic energy is. Kinetic energy is the energy that is possessed by a molecule due to its motion. And you know, in solids, the molecules are very tightly packed. They only vibrate. So they will gain, the molecules are going to gain that heat or kinetic energy, and then they are going to vibrate faster. They are going to move faster. So what happens? Intermolecular force increases, intermolecular space increases, and intermolecular force of attraction decreases. Why I said that simultaneously? Because these things, they are inversely related. If intermolecular space increases, the intermolecular force of attraction decreases. The space increases, the force decreases, and if you continue heating, a point will come where the force of attraction cannot hold the molecules anymore. Okay, and they will leave their position and they will be converted to liquid state. You know, in liquids, the intermolecular space is more, the intermolecular force of attraction is less, and in that liquids the molecules are loosely bound. So we see that the solid, now it has changed to liquid. And what actually has changed? The liquid has more kinetic energy. That what heat energy it got from outside, it will be converting it to kinetic energy. Okay, now let us see what happens when a liquid is heated. When a liquid, the same liquid that we have taken, when it is heated, its molecules will gain that heat energy. That heat energy will be converted to kinetic energy. I hope you remember, I just told you what kinetic energy is. They will try to move away, to move even more away. That means the intermolecular space increases and the intermolecular force of attraction decreases. I hope now you are very clear with the terms intermolecular space and intermolecular force. That means if the one intermolecular space, if it is increasing, the force of attraction decreases. And if we are continuing that heat, a time will come, a point will come where the force of attraction becomes so weak that it cannot now hold the molecules at their particular position. So they will be moving away and that liquid will be converted to gas. Okay, now let us see what happens when a gas is cooled. If we are cooling a gas, we are taking away the heat energy. Heat energy here is, it implies what kind of energy it is? It is the kinetic energy. The molecules will lose kinetic energy. That means now they cannot move that faster. And what happens? The force of attraction between them increases. Force increases means the molecules will try to pull each other. So what happens? The space between them decreases. And on continued cooling, the space is going to decrease to such an extent that the gas will be converted to liquid. Okay. And on continued cooling, This liquid molecules, they are going to lose even more heat energy. On losing that heat energy, the force of attraction further increases. Force increases means the intermolecular space decreases, and after a certain point of cooling, the molecules will become tightly packed together, tightly closed, that the liquid will be converted to solid. Let us understand the terminology related with the change of state of matter. When the solid is converted to liquid, the process is called melting. Conversion of liquid to gas is called vaporization. Gas conversion to liquid is called condensation, and liquid conversion to solid is called solidification. Okay? And one more change is there. Solid can be directly changed into gas without undergoing or passing through the liquid state, and that is known as sublimation. Okay? Whereas few solids, they show this property. When they are heated, they will be directly converting into the gaseous state without going to the liquid state. The process is called sublimation, and the reverse of this, conversion of gas directly into the solid, is called deposition. Okay? Now let us take each and every term in detail. The first one is melting. Melting is the conversion of solid to liquid on heating at its melting point. Now why did I mention that specific melting point? All these conversions what we are studying, they take place at a particular temperature. Okay, and the temperatures have got their names: melting point, boiling point, freezing point, condensation point. Okay, only for a particular substance we are talking. Suppose if we take the example of water, what is the melting point for water? I hope everybody knows it is 0 degrees Celsius. So melting is the conversion of solid to liquid on heating at the particular melting point. The examples of melting we can take. The simplest one I am going to tell you. You take a piece of ice out of the refrigerator and keep it in a bowl. After some time, you won't be able to find the ice. Instead, you will be seeing water is there. See what happens? You will say, teacher, I did not heat that ice, but still it gets converted to liquid. How? Because it is absorbing the heat energy from the surroundings. We did not give it the heat energy, but it is absorbing that heat from the surroundings and getting converted to liquid. Similar is the case in the polar region. Icebergs are there. During summer season, that icebergs, they melt, increasing the water level in the oceans. You know that sometimes it's that level increases, tsunami comes, all these problems are there because that icebergs, what were in the form of solid, they gets converted to liquid, increasing the ocean level. Okay. Now the next term is vaporization. Vaporization is the conversion of liquid to gas at its vaporization point, or it is also known as boiling point. You can, same experiment, you can continue. What liquid you got from that ice, if you heat it, boil it on the stove, you will get the vapors. And do you know what is the particular temperature for water? Yes, it is 100 degrees Celsius is the vaporization point. Then one more example you can take. Suppose if a drop of water has fell on the floor, and if you don't touch it, don't wipe it, after some times you won't be able to see that drop of water. How? Because it has vaporized. The liquid has converted to water vapor and it has gone into the atmosphere. Okay. One more example we can see. Do you know what is the process of making salt? Especially in the initial time, seawater, it consists of lot of salts that we are going to take that seawater and keep it under sun. The sun will do its work. It will convert the liquid into gas, and what will be left at the bottom? We will get salt there. Okay, so that were the examples of vaporization. Next is condensation. When gas is cooled, it gets converted to liquid at its condensation point. Examples we can see for that. Suppose if you take a bottle, that bottle you take from the refrigerator. It is a cold bottle. After some times you will be seeing water droplets on its surface. From where that water droplets come from? Do you think the water inside came out? No, that is not the case. Actually, it is the water vapor outside that gets condensed on the bottle. Okay. Similar, if you want to see condensation, you take a bowl and you put water in that and you heat it. and cover that bowl with a lid. After some time, if you take that lid out, you will be able to see the drops of water on that. What is that? Actually, that has happened due to condensation. When the water boils, it forms vapors. When it comes up, it will get that lid, and that lid is a cooler surface. On getting that cooler surface, they will condense on that, and the same we are getting back. Okay. The next term is solidification. When the liquid is converted to solid on cooling at the particular solidification point, or it is also known as freezing point, the process is solidification. Examples are very easy. You take a bowl of water and keep it in the refrigerator. After 4 or 5 hours, you will be able to see, you will be able to get ice. Okay, I'll give you some very interesting work. You try to make ice cream at home. You take milk and then vanilla essence and sugar, mix them and keep it in the refrigerator, and after 4 or 5 hours, you will be able to get that ice cream. Okay. Now the next term is sublimation. Sublimation, I told you, it is the conversion of solid directly into the gaseous state on heating. Sublimation is not possible with all the substances. It is the case with only very few substances. One of them is solid ice. One of them is dry ice. Dry ice is not at all concerned with water. Actually, it is solid carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide, when it is compressed, it gets converted to dry ice. And when the dry ice is heated, it gets directly converted to the gaseous state without passing to the liquid state. One more example I tell you. The more common one is camphor. Camphor, I suppose you know, that is kapoor. And that everybody must have seen. When the kapoor is lit or when it is heated, it directly gets converted to the gas. We cannot see the liquid state of it. And similarly, if you collect that gas, that vapors, if you collect, then you will be able to get the kapoor or the camphor back, and this process is known as deposition. Conversion of gas directly into solid on cooling is called deposition. Okay. So now we have studied how solid, liquid and gas, how do they get converted. But actually what is happening, when we are moving in this direction from solid to liquid and liquid to gas, we have to heat it. Okay. Heating means what? The substance is increasing its energy. And you know, when we are talking about energy, in case of matter, it is kinetic energy. Okay. Increasing kinetic energy. That means if you go in this direction, liquids will have more kinetic energy than solids, and gases will have more kinetic energy than liquids. And if you go in the reverse direction, the reverse will happen. That means the kinetic energy decreases. And for this process to happen, we have to cool down the substances. Gas is to be cooled to form liquid. Liquid is to be cooled to form solid. So we can say liquids have less kinetic energy than gases, and solids have the least kinetic energy. Okay, so we have completed the first topic. Now the second topic and the last one for this video is law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass states that matter is neither created nor destroyed during a chemical reaction. I shall repeat it. Matter is neither created nor destroyed during a chemical reaction. Now in the last video we had talked about matter. Matter is something that has mass and occupies space. Now when I say matter is not created nor destroyed, that means mass should not change, isn't it? Mass of the reactants should be equal to the mass of the products. Now for some of you, those who don't know what reactants and products are the substances that take part in a chemical reaction, and products are the substances what we get after the chemical reaction. Suppose if we are taking 10 kg of reactants, after the reaction what product or what new thing will be formed? It also will weigh only 10 kg. Okay. Okay, we can discuss that with the help of one example. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. I have written one equation for that. 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. Okay, don't worry if you don't know how that equation and all comes. You will be studying in the coming chapters. So if I draw the symbolic representation of it, see 2 Mg is there, 2 Mg atoms, O2, OO is there, it forms 2 MgO, that is in this representation we can see. So what happens during the chemical reaction? Actually, there is rearrangement of atoms. The composition changes. Okay, the atoms, they rearrange themselves. They leave their place and get a new place. Here you see Mg, one Mg here and one oxygen here. They combine together to form MgO. One magnesium here and one oxygen here. They combine together to form MgO. But there is a point. Whatever weight of magnesium and oxygen we had taken, the same we are going to get the amount of MgO. Suppose if we are taking 50 grams of magnesium and 20 grams of oxygen. Okay, these are reactants. After the reaction, can you guess, can you try how much magnesium oxide will be formed? Yes, it is going to be 70. We have to add them, isn't it? I told you that is law of conservation of mass. Mass of reactants will be equal to the mass of products. And this law was given by Antony van Lavoisier. He was a very great chemist. He gave this law of conservation of mass in the very early times. And actually he formulated this law based on very careful calculations. He was the first person who emphasized that calculations are very important in experiments. He was one of the great scientists who put the stage, who gave us the base for modern chemistry. Okay students, we have completed the 2 topics that were to be covered in this video. Now we have almost completed the chapter. You can go through the exercises, the question answers, fill in the blanks, multiple choice questions. All these have been given to you in the form of notes. You can go through them. And those who have the new copies and books, they can start writing. You are supposed to write short and long answers in the copy. And now here I am going to give you some homework. So these are 5 give reason type of questions. Try to find their answers. Okay. The first one is, a liquid flows easily. Why? Second, a solid changes to liquid on heating. Why? Third, a gas changes to liquid on cooling. Why? Fourth, as magnesium burns in oxygen to produce magnesium oxide, there is no change in mass. Why? And the fifth, a gas completely fills the container in which it is kept. Why? So these were the questions. Try to find their answers. Do the homework. Okay. Thank you.